Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. This is one of those rumors that could reshape the entire NFC East, and honestly, it's got us all talking. Word on the street is that the Las Vegas Raiders, currently sitting at a dismal 2-13, are actively exploring a massive trade involving Max Crosby, one of their most disruptive defensive ends. And if this deal goes through, it might just be the kind of move that propels the Washington Commanders into a new era of dominance on defense. Imagine Crosby, a player who's been a cornerstone pass rusher for the Raiders since he was drafted in 2019, wearing the burgundy and gold. That would be a game changer, and for us, it could be the final piece in a puzzle that turns our defense into a true fortress. Sources reveal that the Raiders are in full rebuild mode, cap space be damned, especially after a season filled with struggles. They're reportedly looking to offload Crosby along with 2 first-round picks, aiming to shed salary and stockpile draft capital. This is a team that's been decimated by injuries, poor performances, and a clear rebuild strategy centered around acquiring young talent and draft picks. With a cap space of around $11 million, the Raiders are trying to make a move that would give them the flexibility they need to reboot their roster, especially on the offensive line and at quarterback, which have been glaring weak spots all year. But the real story here is Crosby. He's a relentless disruptor, a player who's racked up 69. 5 sacks over his career so far, with a PFF grade averaging an impressive 88.5. His stats in the 2023 season are nothing short of elite: 70 tackles, 10 sacks, 6 pass deflections, and an interception. His PFF grade for this year is around 79.7, which places him among the top edge rushers in the league, especially considering pressures with over 90. 9 pressures in 2023 alone. What makes Crosby even more appealing is his health. He's been durable, avoiding major injuries that often hamper players at his position. He's a top-tier pass rusher who can shift the entire dynamic of a defensive line. For the Commanders, adding a player of Crosby's caliber would mean an instant upgrade, especially considering our current struggles against the run and pass. Our defense is allowing nearly 9 points per game, and while we've shown flashes of promise, we need that game-changing edge rusher to take us to the next level. Crosby could be that guy, especially with projections suggesting he could rack up around 15 sacks in 2024, which would significantly reduce our points allowed and elevate our pressure rate by about 18%. That's no small feat. The trade, if it happens, would not only be about talent acquisition, but a strategic move to shake up the NFC landscape. The Raiders, with their current cap situation, would save around $20 million in cap space by trading Crosby, which they could reinvest into rebuilding their roster. But there's skepticism among some analysts who believe that this long-term rebuild could backfire. After all, Crosby's production has dipped slightly compared to previous years, and some worry that the Raiders might be overestimating their rebuilding timeline. There are even rumors that the Raiders are leaning towards a draft-heavy approach, prioritizing young talent over immediate wins, especially with their current struggles and the need to rebuild their defense from scratch. Now, for the Commanders, this isn't just a move to improve our pass rush. It's a statement. Adding Crosby, who's projected to have around 15 sacks in 2024, would turn our defense into a nightmare for opposing offenses. Our current pressure rate would see a boost of about 3 additional hurries per game, giving quarterbacks less time and forcing more mistakes. And that's critical when you consider our recent history of close games and the need to turn those into wins. Our defense, which allows nearly 27 points a game, would become a true wall with Crosby's presence. His ability to generate pressure from the interior and edge would help us shut down the run, get more sacks, and create turnovers. From a playoff perspective, this move could be the catalyst for an incredible postseason run. Our Super Bowl odds, which currently hover around plus 11-0, could see a significant jump to plus 500 with Crosby in the fold. His presence on the inside could be the X factor that pushes us over the top, especially against elite offensive lines in the playoffs. As we know, pass rushers can make all the difference in those high-stakes games, and Crosby's ability to disrupt schemes and pressure quarterbacks like Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott is exactly what we need to elevate our chances. The potential trade also signals a shift in the NFL landscape. The Commanders, coming off a 4-11 season, are looking to build a new dynasty centered around a relentless pass rush. Crosby could be the keystone of that effort, transforming our defense into a feared unit that opponents dread facing. The fact that the Raiders are skeptical about maintaining Crosby long-term only adds to the urgency. They might be willing to part ways sooner rather than later, especially if they sense that Crosby's best years might be ahead of him and their rebuild calls for a fresh start. Imagine a defensive line featuring Crosby alongside Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Suddenly, our front becomes one of the most intimidating in the league. Opposing quarterbacks would be shaking in their boots, knowing they'd have little time to throw, and our secondary would benefit from more pressure and fewer clean looks. That's the kind of transformation that can turn a team around, especially in a division as competitive as the NFC East. Eagles and Cowboys are always tough, but with Crosby in the mix, the Commanders could become a legitimate playoff contender, possibly even a dark horse to make a deep run. Looking ahead, the path to the Super Bowl in the NFC involves tough competition, but with Crosby, our chances improve dramatically. His addition would not only bolster our pass rush, but also send a message to the rest of the league that the Commanders are serious about competing at the highest level. And it's not just about the immediate impact. This move could set the tone for our franchise's trajectory over the next few years. A dominant pass rush can cover up some of our offensive shortcomings, and with a player like Crosby leading the charge, the sky's the limit for what we can accomplish. So fans, the buzz is real, and whether or not this trade materializes, it's clear that the Commanders are eyeing big moves. Our team is hungry, and the front office knows that to make a serious push, they need game changers on defense. Crosby fits that bill perfectly. If this deal goes through, it might be the beginning of a new era, one where the Commanders are not just contenders, but a team feared across the league. Keep your eyes peeled, because this could be the move that defines the next chapter of our franchise. We're on the brink of something exciting, and I can't wait to see where it takes us. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Washington Commanders news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Crosby is the missing piece to finally push us over the edge and into Super Bowl contention? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion really matters to us and to the future of this team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates and insights, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. This offseason is shaping up to be one of the most exciting in recent memory, and we're here to cover every twist and turn with you. Let's go, Commanders.